All right, you two get started. So I like to start to really lay down who today's live stream is for, and who are really the inner experience and what's needed for a very particular woman today. Okay. If you're new here, my name is Naeem, and I deal in the realm of power. The power most women will never truly explore. They will forever be afraid of themselves, forever afraid of the consequences of wielding real power, forever afraid of being whole. Okay, so I am rare in the true sense, not in the I want to be different from her. I'm trying to make myself better than people. I'm rare in the true sense where people look at you online and have all these ideas, and then you get around people in real life. You're like, whoa, like wait, like whoa, okay. And I say that for your ego mind, because everybody thinks they're so big and bad, but when it's time to get down to the nitty gritty. So I really want to talk to the woman who, yes, you do have that going on. Like you see yourself as this big thing, but you also have the awareness in your quietest of quiet, when you're alone by yourself, that if I really, truly, at a full self level, really thought these things about myself, about how I'm so bomb and fabulous and I'm a god and I deserve it all and bitch bow down and I'm smart and I'm da, da, da. Like if you really deeply, fully felt that, you would be creating a whole entire different reality. You would walk different, you would move different, you would command and require new things in your life. It's like people would just look at you and know. You would there's a kind of authority you would walk as, and it would be fully embodied. It wouldn't be you like trying to put on a protective bitch face because niggas are predators. It wouldn't be you trying to seem like you together because you don't want people to see through you. It wouldn't be any of these insecure survival based movements to try to not look like weak prey. It wouldn't be any of that. It would be calm. It would just be true. You wouldn't even have to talk much. And you know this. And today I really want to talk to that woman who, please hear me, okay? You have started and stopped and started and stopped with your mission many times over the years. You started content creation schedules that you couldn't keep up with. You wanted to bring forward topics, and the night before you wrote it all down or you put it in your Google draft and you felt ready. You're going to get up in the morning and create this content or contact this organization to speak. You was ready to and then morning time came and suddenly you just drew a blank. Like, just why and that's been the pattern for 3 years, 9 years, 20 fucking years. Okay. um, you're very aware of the double life that you live, right? So there's the life you live out in the public sphere with people, right? To get along, to whatever, go get your groceries, assuming you still go to the grocery store, whatever, pick up the kids, right? But there's a whole inner world that you don't let people see. And that inner world is so, it's so, and you scared for people to see that. You scared you're gonna be not loved. People gonna call you the devil. People gonna be scared. Your husband ain't gonna want to fuck you no more because he's dependent on the smaller version of you. All the things. What's gonna happen? My kids, kids gonna say shit, and the parents of the kids gonna say shit about me. And can I sustain that? What is that gonna look like out in the world for real? Okay. I really want to talk to this woman today. The woman who, even you are scared of you in a way, right? Because you're so inexperienced with living you out in the world, and you exert so much energy to live a double life. Like, get ready to go out, and then you come home and it's a whole other being. Okay. You feel very much like you do not belong here on earth. Like, this is the shit I'm fucking talking about. And let's remind, do you understand that the nuclear family didn't even used to be a thing? We're so in today of 2024. We're so bombarded with the messaging of today. Do you understand that houses didn't even used to be a thing? Do you understand that there was no such thing as the suburbs and the nuclear family and urban culture? Everything today that we think is right and normal and respectable and honorable, you understand these are constructs? The American dream is a construct. Like all of this shit that everybody is just so convinced that it's just normal and this is right. College education. Do you know that you used to be able to practice law without needing to go through the board? But as soon as black people wanted to practice law, they created a fucking board and a whole process. Like all of this shit is constructs. And everybody has whittled themselves down to try to fit into the fucking construct and losing the very power you need to live brightly here on earth. So that's everybody. Then there are very distinct people. For those of you who have read all kind of historical text, for those of y'all who don't like to fucking read, you ain't gonna get it. Okay, shit. For you, the rest of y'all who have read bounties of books about myths, those of you who know how to read the Bible with a critical eye, and you have, you know the stories behind a lot of the deities that people just love to put on because it's trending on TikTok, Kali and this goddess and this goddess, and you just heard about it from Beyonce 3 years ago, and now you want to act like you a fucking goddess, but you don't know nothing about the fucking story of her. You don't know nothing about Medusa for real, and the story and the myth and the psyche components of it. Okay. There are some people who vibrate very differently at birth. See? And when you live around, when you come from a line of regular ass folks and you meet somebody who comes from a whole other line, and you live in a TikTok world where it's just like, bitch, what is you? Not you, literally. Bitch, I come from a whole other line. See? So when you're born with something that don't let you go, let me repeat who I'm talking to today. The rest of you bitches who just want a little confidence so you can make some more money to travel, go find manifestation videos on YouTube, bitch. There's plenty of them. Go listen to the bitches who telling you how to get money. It's the easiest thing to do. Okay. It's men and women walking around today who got visions that won't let them go. They're coded very differently than the rest of you hoes. Call it, think, feel how you want, bitch. I don't care. Do what you're gonna do with it. And when you live in a TikTok ass, Instagram ass, just where fear is running the fucking show. Fear is running it. Fear is running it for most people. For most black people, all you got to do is use the word demon, and them niggas gonna freeze up and ain't gonna move no fucking where. Black people is controlled, the most powerful motherfuckers. Controlled, bitch. All you got to do is just trigger a little bit of fear, and the average black man or woman in them hoes ain't going nowhere. Just a little bit. Ain't going nowhere. Make her feel insecure about her body, bitch ain't going nowhere. Say something about her parenting, bitch ain't going nowhere. Say something about her hair, her money, bitch ain't going nowhere. She gonna stay right there. Yeah. Okay. So that's why all of that crab in the barrel bucket, that's all them fucks over there. Ruled by different versions of fear. Bitch, when you at a certain degree, bitch, you can't be canceled. Bitch, tell your mama, nigga. Go tell your demon ass granddaddy, nigga. Like how you can't cancel Cat Williams, bitch. You can't cancel no fucking Cat Williams, bitch. Yeah, see that level of vibration, ho. You see? Now do you get it, bitch? Let me use somebody famous since you niggas don't have no thinking mind. And maybe not you, but the motherfuckers, the few, okay, who may watch the replay because it ain't. So, eh, power ain't even worried about them motherfuckers over there who's scared. We give the worry about them motherfuckers. Just sell them bitches shit. Sell them the latest iPhone gadget. Sell them hoes some body shaper to flatten her stomach. Sell that bitch a new lip gloss. We ain't worried about them bitches. Okay. But what about the ones who can see behind? The ones who are not bound by masculine and feminine, who have no problem being seen naked. They were born like this. They didn't go watch YouTube videos to get their power up. They didn't go listen to a master teacher. They didn't go read Women Who Run with the Wolves and go on a spiritual retreat to Bali. And I'm working on my power, girl, because I've been working on my manifesting, girl, because I've been healing my childhood trauma, girl. No, no, no. They were born like this. They didn't watch. I binge watched your content on TikTok and I'm so inspired. Mm-mm. And when you in a TikTok world and in a fear-based world, and everybody, so many people are small ugh, and yet here you are dealing with your own versions of repression, etc., etc. And you got this thing that won't let you go. Like, it won't let you go, meaning you have begged this thing to let you go. This is what I'm talking to. You've begged this thing to let you go. You tried to drink it away. Maybe you've gained a lot of fucking weight because you tried to stuff it down with food. You've done the things that you didn't travel, been around the world, caught the same thing twice. You tried to hide behind men, have a child and another child and another child. You done married the same man 3 times to distract yourself. You cried yourself to sleep. You've run yourself through the gauntlet of addiction on different levels. Why me? You've asked yourself, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? Now you got pain in your body. But you in the TikTok world, just get your confidence up. Girl, slay, girl. Beat that face, girl. It's really important that women who are this, what I'm talking about, that you revere and make important your experience. Because the world is not, it's not like you could just turn on a TV and people just know it, get it. Can like you sit and talk to somebody in your life and they don't get it? You're weird. Huh? Girl, I don't know. Just maybe you just need to go to the spa. Maybe you just need to go to the spa. You just need a trip. You just need more money. That's all it is. You just need more money, girl. You see what I mean by being born different? See, and this is why it's so important that we learn to center our experience. Because it's so easy to get like wrapped up and just going to Target. Just Netflix, lay down, turn on Netflix and just spaz out. Meanwhile, under the current, the anxiety. It's just, it's under. It's under. The anxiety just, this is who I'm talking to today. And then in that moment that you end up meeting one person, this is assuming you've met this person. You meet that one person, that one rare individual who you talk to, and it's like you live 20 lifetimes in a 1 hour conversation. You speed forward, and it's literally like you jump a dimension in that conversation, and then you go back to the normal dimension once you split from that person and go live your life. And yet, the power, the force, the sustainability you need to actually bring this mission forward, that would be from the sight that you have from behind. Or, like Iris has said, you see from the bottom up. You need language for your inner experience. That's part of why I even go live like this, to give language to things so you can hear it outside of yourself. Okay. And what happens is everything in the world of survival, food, housing, belonging somewhere, okay, whether that's belonging in your blood family, right? Mom, siblings, cousins, all that, grandma, aunts, all that, or this partnering, like hooking up with the opposite sex. All of those survival pieces get hit up against when you are confronted with bringing the part of you that's like behind and up and out. All of it gets hit because what, so much of your life, your current reality, is built on your hidden self, meaning you pick that man not based on the real you, but the hidden you. You, even your whole look, the way you wear your hair, everything is based on your hidden you. The deeper you would dress different, would wear your hair different, you would walk different, talk different, you would look different, choose different. All of that would be different. So when your whole existence is based on your hidden self, and yet this thing that won't let you go, that has your body in pain, that has you creating what Jordan Peterson calls false adventures. Oh my God. Did anybody see that recent? When I say recent, I mean like maybe 5, 6, 7 days ago. Jordan Peterson was on the Jay Shetty podcast. Did anybody see that? Jordan Peterson was on the Jay Shetty podcast. Did anybody here see that? Man, TikTok ain't spread my video today. All good. Anybody here see that? I want to see more melanin dominant women just public facing, honest, powerful, unapologetic, articulate, spiritually smart, expansive, primal, open heart, inner right mind, public facing, well known, famous. That's what I want to see. In this interview, Jordan Peterson talked about false adventures, where he talked about it in mass, like a person who has a call to something higher. And instead of responding to the call to something higher from a place of fear, they start creating all these false adventures, like which damage people. Because in the false adventure, you're not taking the action in the direction of your real thing. So you choose people, you choose whoever you choose, right? Your friends, spouses, the way you communicate with people, everything. It's based on your false adventure, like you're doing something for you to get like these cheap thrills, these cheap ideas to think that you're doing something. And then you start to get, for people who go on the real adventure, which would put everything on the line. Okay. Everything that you constitute as your normal life, as your right life, as your right, it puts all that on the line, and it puts you on the great adventure where everything works for you. Even when things that don't feel good, everything works for you. And he said, then you start to get the envy of other people who are living the false adventure, pretending like they're living the real adventure. And what was I connecting this with? Maybe you already made the connection. And so, here it is right here. It just came to me where I was going. Is that when you are faced with, now your body is in pain, now you're neurotic. And then what happens on the false adventure? This is part of why I was bringing this up. What happens on the false adventure is that you trigger deep inner war in yourself, deep inner war, anxiety. Because even if everybody else sees you as advancing and successful and accomplished, you know that you're not doing the real thing. You know that your decisions are fear based. You know. And then so there's the double you inside that's like, so then whenever you're like deciding an action you're going to take, content you're going to create, all that, the false adventure you and the real adventure you are having a conversation. And it's a war that automatically outputs something divided, something that uh, it doesn't have the sustaining, or what he said, it doesn't propagate over time. That's what that's the language Peterson used. He said it doesn't propagate over time well because it's not in the realm of sustainability, like I talked about in the content that went up yesterday and this morning. And when you are in physical pain, you have deep inner war going on. You're the weird one. You know what you bring forth would make you uh like, a lot of people like my content, but they like it from a distance. They don't want to get close. You know what I'm saying? They like from a distance, but they don't want what would happen if we got up close. Or if they did get up close, suddenly it's like, oh no, I like you from a distance, but I want to get up close. It's too intense up close. Okay. And so we fear, the woman who I'm talking about, we fear that happening with the people in our lives. And that means I'm going to be alone. That means I won't be liked. That means people won't buy from me. That means no man will want me. That means ultimately that I'll end up broke under a bridge alone. Like, this is all the stuff that gets hit when we're confronted with the real adventure versus the artificial adventure. Okay. The real adventure versus the artificial adventure, which I see a lot of people who call them gods are in artificial adventures. You can tell. When you live the real adventure, even if you're not living a real adventure, but especially if you're living the real adventure, you can see people living a false adventure and they're trying to, you know, anyway, they're just trying to give themselves something because the real thing would totally change their life. The real adventure would totally change their life. Totally. And it would set them up for propagating long-term impact, a kind of immortality. But people love immortality in theory, but like the real, like the way we constantly refer to Jesus or these different men of old who did things that were truly dangerous. These are not like good, wholesome men. You know what I mean? Who were, you know, turn the other cheek. They weren't MLK type dudes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MLK with his dream. But y'all saw toward the end of his life, he was like, man, this shit ain't And he started hooking up with Malcolm. You see? So what I've just shared so far was to really lay the groundwork of what's going on in the inner landscape. Okay. And everybody who is of this is faced with this in a real way. We're faced with this. Okay. And what do you do? I have said, I said it some months ago, but I want to say it again. When a man of my level, and even he doesn't even have to be with me, it could be him and her over there. I'm just saying, my level in consciousness, my level in being all in, right? It's like you literally walk through a door. Who have truly walked through the door, and you can't fake it just because you get online and create advanced content and all the shit that the false adventure, all that. When you really walk, it's all energy. It's all deep heart sincerity. No one sees you do it. It's not something you can come out here and do a video and think that that's going to catapult you over into another timeline. Okay. When the right two, Matrix told y'all. I thought that was just a movie, huh? When the right two, because everybody else just want pussy and status and money and food. Pussy and status and money and food. And to look like a bad bitch or a king of a man. But the real king of a man is, there's a weakness in him to be owned. And the woman too. There's a fragility, a vulnerability that if that's not even willing to be seen, it's counterintuitive. See, most people don't want to be seen weak because they don't really get where weakness, fragility, and see, y'all think it's weakness like you have nothing. You are nothing. In a true sense, though, like it's a level of when people are like, I don't want to be seen weak. I don't want to look vulnerable. I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to, right? It's like something in them actually thinks that they're nothing. Like there's something in them that feels a deep sense of nothing, of low, of right. Now, if you want to look at it from the perspective of we all gonna die, yes. And you're an emanation, breathing, sentient being alive today. Do let's put some let's look at this from so many angles to look at it. One, millions, potentially billions of sperm shot out of your father's penis and the mom's ovum had to select. And out of all the millions or billions of sperm, you were selected. Let's start there. Jesus Christ, do I really have to go here? So that's one angle. And then you made it through to whatever your age is now. Then all the billions of people before you, okay? Billions, billions and billions and billions and billions of people before you. This shit is just astounding to me. I don't know how people be like, we gonna die anyway. I don't. I'm not interested in going deeper into that right now. If that keeps you locked, stay there. Find somebody else to. There's the kind of weakness where a person is weak in mind. This is the kind. This is the kind of people are scared of, the weakness in mind. Then there's the weakness that people fear in surrender, in giving oneself over, where there's a kind, God, I feel like I'm disrespecting this, the reality of this, by even giving language to it. Telling you. So anyway, all of this, what I'm talking about, gets confronted. All of this, what I'm talking about, gets confronted when a person is really called to give themselves over to the work that they're here to do. Jesus, every man and woman that we love to refer as heroes, that we love to refer to as heroes, who in their truly giving themselves over, have done. And that we like it for inspiration purposes, but very, very, very few will actually do it. For example, the billions of melanin dominant men who are alive today, the billions, all it takes is one, maybe even two, one, one, to truly submit to the feminine, the way Carl Jung did, to the right woman, a woman like me, would change the game for the collective. Billions of men alive today. Where's the one? All the kings and the hoteps and the gods and the Hebrews and all of this big chess up on the internet, collecting money and collecting cars and pastors. The pastors, just Carl Jung is the king that he is because he submitted to the feminine. Go study your boy. Carl Jung, he was a big part of why he was able to do what he did. One, because he had a woman, a wife, who, that's what I'm saying, on the right too, who knew, one, that she couldn't be the woman that he needed to bring his work forward in the world. That's one. And all of this is well documented. You can go look it up. So that's one. Two, he got with a woman who had the capacity and willingness to do this deeper, crazy work of discovering the deeper aspect, the feminine of the unconscious. Jung couldn't have done that by himself. He needed to submit to the feminine. All of this king and this vitriolic feminism, like, sir, you definitely aren't Jesus. You definitely are bringing us Jesus power. Jesus, out of all of them dicks hanging around Christ, he chose a woman. You Christ consciousness? I can't tell. All of them damn disciples around Jesus, he chose a woman who had the spaciousness, the consciousness. I have reached out to these melanin dominant men who think that they're wonderful because they have money, cars. So fucking what? We all do. We all got money, cars, assets. See, that's what I mean. Your true intent always shows. You can, like on that Kendrick Lamar song, he said, "Tell me everything you do and why you're really doing it. Tell me everything you're doing and why you're really doing it. Why you really doing that? Why you really doing that?" See, you want that kind of responsibility over your life and your choices? Why are you really doing that? Talking about some Christ consciousness. When the right to, the right to, the right to. That's why I want them to get everything they want. Give them the young petite girls they want. Give them the money they want. Give it all to them. Give them the 4 wives. Give them the more real estate. Give it to them. Give it to them. Give it all to them. They will ruin themselves, and it will all be in the deep mind, which is the worst place. Ain't nothing like have more than enough. Ain't nothing like have plenty. Ain't nothing like having a harem of young petite things available to suck your dick on call. You got everything that the world can give you. And you at war inside. Give it to them. Give them everything. Give them the best of the best of the best. Give them the biggest. Give them houses all over the world. Give them all the money. Give them 17 young, petite, perfect wives who are obedient of the highest order. Give it to them. Chris said, yeah, hurry the process so they can have a chance to realize before death arrives. Now's the time. Now is the time. So, a few things. One, oh, thank you. For those of you who are called for us to live together, we need to live together. When you are this woman or man, for the men who are ready, this is high level work, okay? We will be living together in Italy, first of all, okay? Here's the thing. I said in some content yesterday that you need to know why this matters and what you think you're doing. Again, what you think you're doing, okay? And then if you're like, I know what I'm doing, what you know you're doing, okay? Having that solid acts as a North Star, acts as an anchor as we're navigating foreign terrain. This concern about, I've heard different, there's a kind of fear that lives in the melanin dominant male mind that is very male specific. It's very male specific, I have found. And so, and then for the woman, the actually this part for both the responsibility of tapping into this power, so that's one. But for the female, the concern that you're going to destroy something that you won't be able to sustain or handle once you, because women who have touched this part of themselves, it can feel very overwhelming. It can feel very much like, it could suffocate you. It could take you over because it's so, massive, so vast. So I want to speak to that inside the woman, and then the male mind, the melanin dominant male mind has such a dark, the level, and see, this is what women can't handle. There's so many women, I'm saying women all, but most can't handle the deep, dark, uh, like literally the so many of in the melanin dominant, he'll create his own prison. Like it's a different kind of prison. It's a dark, degenerate, basically it's going to contort everything into a prison. He gonna get with a woman, that will be an imprisoning relationship. He will, no matter what he does, no matter how good it looks, it will be a prison of good. Okay. And it's so it needs to be handled a particular kind of way. But for a woman who's in rejection of the responsibility of her power, she's going to be devoured by his dark mind. Okay. Y'all see the intensity of what I'm talking about? Okay. This is where it's at. It's been here. Folks just ain't been dealing in it. Okay. Y'all just been being devoured by this energy. Okay. Which is why a lot of y'all mad. So it's another reason why the content that I put out yesterday and even this morning about learning to deal with filth. No matter how good a man looks or a woman, but I'm specifically talking about the male right now. No matter how good he looks, no matter how much money he has, no matter how articulate he is, no matter how much he appears to be a respectable leader thing, that deep mind is dark. Okay. And they all, the face of that mind will present itself differently. And when this, now there's the men who don't have a calling in their lives like that. So I'm not talking about your average male, right? Who he just gonna take orders and you know, but the man who is sincere about self-actualizing, okay, he has a call on his life to truly self-actualize. Okay, he is gonna need literally, like he can't, okay, he can get far by himself. He can do a lot. He can become smart. He can gather bounties of knowledge. Yes, indeed, he can. And just like Carl Jung, who prior to him actualizing in his work, he was already an accomplished doctor, already married with kids, accomplished doctor, was already building up cred in, I think it was Zurich. I could be wrong about where, but somewhere over there. Zurich. Yeah. Okay. And so he's already working with patients, he's doing his work in the world, right? So a man who's called to actualize can do a lot living what I call the normal life. And inevitably, this is predictable, okay, for the man who's called to self actualize, what will predictably happen is his normal life will cease being enough for his actualization. For the normal man, that will be enough forever. Wife and kids, boom, enough. Okay. For the man who's called at a heart and soul level to self actualize, that normal life will cease being enough and it will act more so as a, like it did for Young. And I actually think there's an advanced version of this because we're in different times now. For Young, the family acted like the thing to uh, balance him out, like normalize, because the work that he was doing was very not normal. Okay. The kind of work that could drive somebody crazy if they don't have something that anchors them into reality. And this is what his normal family became. And yet, and still, for him to traverse and do his deeper work, he required the right woman, not a young, cooperative, agreeable woman who's obedient and submissive to the king because that's divine order. Like I see so many melanin dominant men ruining themselves time and time again, just ruining themselves. And those of us who can see through can see, okay. And that's part of the submission for both is there's a sort of being met in the weakness. And I don't mean this like actual like weakness. I mean submission into the unknown. And the only thing that's going to drive you, I don't say the only, but the most potent things that drive you is the sincerity of heart. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, if your heart is not right, you can't see straight. It's hard for you to make decisions because you know this ain't correct. When this ain't correct, it alters the way you see things. Money don't fix it. Home cooked meals don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what fixes it? Telling the truth about your inner world and sincerely seeking to unify yourself. I've said this many times and I'll keep saying it. Sincerity writes things. You sincere? You know when you sincere by the intent behind your actions, the true intent behind your actions. Okay? So today, yeah, the male and the female, right? The woman, the work that's required of the woman, right? Because I'm talking about it through a unification of the male and the female. The woman, one, this is the big one, really needs to take responsibility for her power. Like, hmm, this is what I want to say for um, I remember when I was running for my power big time. It, it was crazy. When I tell you, the guy, and part of what I would think about and imagine when I was in a place of running was power felt like a burden. That's a good one. It felt like a burden. It felt like almost like I would be missing out on life if I took full responsibility for my power. I would be missing out on life. And what I can tell you now that I'm on this side, for those of you who are still struggling with taking full responsibility for your power, is that now that I'm on this side, I can tell you that actually over there, where you avoid responsibility, where responsibility feels like a burden, where it feels like too much, where all that is louder. The fear is louder. The not wanting responsibility is louder. The all that is louder. What I can tell you is over there is where you're actually missing out on your actual life, your full life, your fulfilling life, your rich life, the life of the high adventure. Over there, I didn't see that. Now that I'm over here, I can see. So that, okay, want to share that with you for those of you who are still, those of you who are like on the fence, like I'm on the edge. Oh my God, I'm on the edge. So that also, let me reiterate that I'm talking to the woman who you just know it deep inside that you were born to do this very distinct work that you are called to do that won't let you go. That won't let you go. Okay, this work that won't let you go. I repeat, I'm talking right now to the woman who has the call on her heart, her body, her soul that will not let her go. It's gripped you for years. Okay? Your body has been in physical pain because you keep trying to do all these other things to avoid doing the real thing. You're on the false adventure. Okay? Mm. You're going to be required to make an action decision. An action decision. And action decision. Your entire life will be required to change. This is where the real adventure starts. How people see you now, change. The relationship you are in, change. Or if you're already in a marriage or a long term relationship, that partner, like Carl Jung, recognizing that there's more to you and they support genuinely. Not like they say they support, but they secretly resent. Genuinely support. Carl's wife said, and this has been recorded, she thanked Tony. Tony is a woman. Tony became the woman who was instrumental. Tony submitted to this woman. Carl Jung submitted to this woman, recognized that he could not do his work without her. And him and her would go underground together for extended periods of time. People knew. They'd be like off the map. It says you go study, you can hear about all this. Everybody knew. There was no secret around this. Sometimes they, all three of them, Tony, who was Carl Jung's lover, who he was doing this unconscious work with, like the way we know Carl Jung and the shadow and the unconscious, all that work came about in his relationship with Tony, his lover, while he was married to his wife with kids. Okay. So for all of these, and I'm keep referring to melanin dominant men because that one, maybe two, but that one, when he gets with the right woman, it's not going to be the man online talking about faithful to your wife. It's not going to be him. It's not him. Unless he has the awareness that there's a, yes, this is my wife, and he's doing very distinct work. Because most of them are not with wives who are of the power, spaciousness, capacity. It's not even on her spirit to do this work that would advance the collective and put them on the high adventure. Most of them did not pick that kind of wife. So I love Tony Gaskins, but it ain't gonna be him. It ain't gonna be these men who trying to be good, wholesome, righteous, good men. They want a look of being good men, fathers. It ain't gonna be him. It ain't gonna be a man like that. The level of being in the world, interacting with the world to impact the world matters. Like Jesus. Like I hear different melanin dominant men talking about being like Christ. Christ didn't get married and have kids. I know, but it's just a metaphor. We don't mean it literally. There's a level of being willing to be misunderstood, to look like the bad guy, to be the bad guy, to, be out here and do all the things that go against the grain of the image that the elite have told all the regular men that they need to look like in order to get a wife and status and all the things. It's all a crux. It's a sham. So Tony, no, I forget his wife's name. I'm curious. Anybody here know Young's wife's name? On my keyboard. Anybody here know Carl Jung's wife's name? I can't type on my keyboard. Oh wait, hold on. Emma Young. That was her name. Emma. She was born Emma Marie Rauschenbach, March 30th, 1882. She was a Swiss Jungian analyst and author. She married Carl Jung, financing and helping him to become the prominent psychiatrist and founder of analytical psychology. And together they had 5 children. How many melanin? How she financed him? See what I mean? Oh Lord, 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 Lord. But the point I wanted to make about Carl Jung's wife, and I knew she financed him, I just forgot to include it here. The point I wanted to make about Emma was that Emma was later reported as saying publicly that she thanked Tony, his lover, Tony was part of the family. She would come over for dinner. All three of them would travel to different conferences around Europe once they started to advance. Um, he would be at Tony's house. Young would be at Tony's house, and people knew his car would be there. And they would go underground together to do this work together. So we're talking about love, we're talking about the feminine. And so many of these men who are the feminine, feminism, there's your cue right there. It's counterintuitive. Emma thanked Tony for doing what she could not do, for being the woman she could not be. So this is a man's wife thanking his lover for being the woman that she could not be. Keep in mind, they had 5 kids. Carl Jung and his wife Emma had 5 kids. Now, we love to praise, folks praise Carl Jung today. I mean, there's Carl Jung institutes all over the world. So this is the, see what I mean? The immortality, see, this is not ego work. You don't do that from a place of, because I'm a king. When will these men humble themselves? King, God, responsible for the ushering of humanity. When will you humble yourself? When will you reconcile your deep hate for the feminine? Woman, called to usher forward humanity, fearing and avoiding responsibility. When will you reconcile the vastness that you are, that has great potential to harm and destroy? When will you accept that, reconcile that here? Are you called to that? I remember when I was running and really a major thing that forced me over was a medical emergency. For those of y'all who are, your body is in pain. How many of you are sick right now? You've gotten cancer. You've ended up in the hospital, some kind of problem. Are you ready now? Because that's what it takes for some of us. For some people, it takes enormous amounts of pain. For some people, it takes a riveting wake up call, just psychologically. For some of us, it takes for that right person to enter our world, that and we're receptive to that person opening our world, and it opens us up. And then together, there are some people, many people, who have made decisions that took them, and it's not one decision, it's a series of decisions that takes you out of true submission to your high order. Feels like suicide. True submission to your high order feels like suicide. Feels like death. It feels stupid. Feels like, why would I do that? And when a person hasn't built up a muscle, when a person feels like they have a lot to lose, why would they do that? Why would they do that? A high order will call. A high order. Not because they want more money, safety. The high order is the true leaning on the call on your life. It's a true leaning. And when you have so many toxins in your heart, so many toxins in your deep mind, It becomes increasingly difficult because all those toxins and irreconciled elements inside of you start to grab at you. Mm. TikTok just sent me a note saying that some of the content in my live may be uncomfortable for people. This is why so much of magic went underground. The men of old who saturated consciousness with so many lies that softened people. Now everybody's so fucking soft about just honest things, just honest things. It's so damn soft. What happened? Mhm. So the darkness that lives inside of man, when I say man, I'm talking about man and woman, the darkness, the, that boogeyman syndrome that everybody walks around with, the boogeyman. Do you know how to traverse the boogeyman with other people so that you can get to the other side? Because all of that is distraction. Boogeyman, beast, animal, malevolent entity. It's your own mind. Are you willing to traverse the malevolent entities in you in relationship with somebody else who's doing the same thing? Can you make love with a malevolent entity and come out whole? You see, I'm talking about a whole other level of play. You're not breaking through any grid. You're not freeing yourself. You're not doing anything beyond all of this spiritual shit that people talking about on TikTok. All of this, you got so much fucking knowledge, nigga. Why you still in a prison if you got so much fucking high level advanced knowledge? All the shit, all of it. From Dr. Umar to Nazir Ra, all the niggas. If you so fucking high and mighty, I'm just talking about them because they two of the loudest voices on the internet. Then that other nigga, Billy Carson, is that his name? You got, well, they not, they on the finance tip, but all of them, 19 keys. What the fuck is going on, nigga? Tell them I said it. What's going on here? Yeah, what's going on here? Y'all just want YouTube views and to sell your courses? What's going on here? You have the power to do it. All the knowledge, all the conviction about what you're talking about. I was watching Dr. Umar on the Nick Cannon got a new podcast. Y'all saw that? And it was Nick Cannon, his father, Dr. Umar, and another woman. I don't know her name. I've never seen her before. Yeah, y'all know this one. And they was like playing cards and talking. And, Dr. Umar with his saying about, black something. What did he say? Snow bunnies never. What's that saying that he coining now? Snow bunny. Oh, who knows? But I'm like, Dr. Umar, Mr. Umar, with all that power, Dr. Umar is a powerful man. Deeply, deeply. It's evident. Okay. He also has a deep mind, like everybody. Okay. And I already thought he had two wives. I don't know. Did y'all? I thought I saw, I don't know, 2 years ago, him, who knows? But he's saying he want two wives. What's going on here? What's the goal? What is the goal? 19 keys. What's going right? And it's like, do you men, in the event that you're hearing this, somebody sends this to you, you get a whiff of this. What's the intent? What's the true intent? So Kendrick Lamar, most recent song called Reincarnated, when it was his ego self and his high self having a communication. And his ego self was like, I want to do good. I'm preaching peace in LA. As if he wanted to be a good guy. And his high self said, tell me everything you're doing and why you doing it. Tell me everything you're doing and why you doing it. Because we know folks like to be like, I'm here for the culture. I'm here for the culture, the liberation of my people. Well, no, not really. You want the status so you can have multiple bitches in your face clamoring to suck your dick. Which one is it? He like, I'm trying to spread peace in LA. I'm trying to spread peace in LA. And his high self said, yeah, but you like war. Yeah, but you like war. You see the level of humility and submission that's required? You see when that dark mind is at play? And women, are you ready to deal with a dark mind? Because I know they look shiny to y'all on YouTube, but are you ready to deal with a dark mind? Are you ready to deal with that beast of a man? Y'all swerving down, y'all want kings. Y'all really want a king? For those of y'all who saw Bridgerton, Charlotte, whatever it was, when the king, they summoned the black woman to come marry the king. Was that Bridgerton on Netflix? They summoned the black woman from a whole other country to come marry the king. The nigga was, y'all want a king? Y'all want a shiny king to pay all your bills and give you a house to live in? You ready to deal with a king? You ready for that? The nigga was butt naked in a garden trying to figure himself out and hallucinating in the corner. Y'all ready to deal with a king? I'm talking about a man who's called to self actualization. Because half of y'all don't want no man called to self actualization. You want to not think, be genuinely weak, okay? And a man like Dr. Umar, a man like 19 Keys, a man like Nazir Ra, a man like Billy Carson, all of these, the ones who are called to self actualization, 99.9% of the bras looking at them thinking that they big, smart, wise, intelligent, couldn't handle being with that nigga in no real way. You see what I mean by the right to or more? You see what I mean by the right to? All of y'all who want a nuclear family and a protector and a provider and a husband and a wife, and that ain't it. You can have that. You can go do that. A man who's called to self-actualize, that ain't never gonna be enough. Never. He's in this world and not of it in the most intense way. He requires submission to the feminine, period. No matter how you slice it. I don't care if you want to talk about extraterrestrials, interdimensional rockets, aliens, Kali Ma, demons, evil, no, Jesus, God. No matter what angle you slice it, if he don't submit to the feminine, he ain't going nowhere. Look around. Look around. Look, feel into it. For the women who feel sense deeply, I'm saying all this because one, the woman who's called and it won't let her go, and she got the inner war going on. And the man, melanin dominant or not, because this beast is most definitely in non-melanin dominant men as well. Okay. The two of them, not only in the working together, but the development that's required. And how does that development happen? I'm telling you, it's going to be living together. I'm telling you, it's going to be working together so closely where you all traverse the demon world together. All of the shits that keep folks over here and like not wanting to be seen and who they really are and are constantly going in circles. And I'm telling you, we could, what we could do immediately. But folks don't have the skill, the capacity, the inner fortitude, and the connection. We need to be fucking and sucking each other with deliberate intent to transform and convert this power. This is it. I'm telling y'all. I'm talking about no matter how mad, sad, angry, demon, evil, but most of us, you have to refine, you have to develop. This is what I'm saying. The women need to do it first because the men can't do it without the man is going to need the woman. He's going to need her. A woman can do so much to prepare. And it's not that you're necessarily preparing for the man, you're preparing for power, period. He just comes and is involved in it and making it bigger so that it actually has collective impact. That's what I was like, what's your real intent? Otherwise, just vote for Trump again. Because he's gonna do it. Just I don't know. Wait for the what? What are you expecting? What are we waiting for? All the boogeymans, all the fear, this whole we don't trust. Trust yourself. How about that? Go talk to your high self. I'm telling you, none of it matters. What matters is the genuine goal, which is power. That's the genuine goal. I'm talking about the power that matriculates down into the masses to raise up humanity. That's what matters. What you want, another house? Okay. Then what? More money? Okay, then what? Another trip? Your next dream trip? Then what? Then what? Another wife? Then what? Another ignorant wife who who you bore of eventually anyway? What's next? And so much of this, I'm telling y'all, when we come with the sincerity to do the work that our actualized self calls us to do, we won't even need to talk much. Put us in a room together. We know. We know. Can you feel that? So you feel how much a relaxed womb, a calm nervous system, being spacious and being able to handle the awe. Y'all love to be talking about the Almighty, the awe without being knocked down because oh you're not used to this energy and this energy and that energy. You're not used to existing in a space with vast energy with the opposite sex. How about before you even get to the opposite sex with yourself? It's interesting that I'm talking at this level and there's like nobody here, practically nobody on TikTok. They put a restriction on the live. Thank you for sharing, Divine Digital Guide. It's time for us to be together. It's time for us to be together. For the women, okay, for the women who are watching, who will watch the replay, and you know that your refinement is required, readying yourself not only for your own responsibility of power, okay, readying yourself, developing yourself, priming yourself, refining yourself for your own development, for your own responsibility. So you usher forward and you can do the work that won't let you go. You can be public facing. You can be unapologetic. You can expand your power. You can handle everything that comes with expanding your power. The things that you might currently call the evil eye, malevolent entities, all the things that you currently think are some kind of burden, some kind of attack, some kind of, I'm telling you as somebody who's on this side, all of that shit is in service to you. All of it. My God Power workshop, which you see here on the screen, it's in the description here on YouTube. My God Power workshop, if you are the woman who I've been talking about, is going to help you with this refinement of your power, coming into your primal power and being able to come out in the world and do your work. So you can register for this God Power workshop with the link in my bio. God Power workshop. You can register right now with the link in my bio. And or I put Shadow Gold there. So Shadow Gold is a tool that you can access immediately. You also can get Shadow Gold with the link in my bio. Shadow Gold is something that you have access to for a lifetime, and it's going to help you start to own this forbidden primal full power. The power that you're going to need if you call yourself getting with a king. I mean the real king, not the ones who like to just get online and call themselves that because they got money and houses. Okay, I'm talking about ones who are actually called to self-actualization, who are radically in this world and not of it, who have deep, dark minds and intense power as well. And it only the right feminine will do. The true, full feminine will do when they submit. Okay. And allow themselves to be fortified by full feminine power. So, Shadow Gold helps you become that woman and owning your full primal power. You can get access to Shadow Gold right now with the link in my Bible. My Bible. Oh my God, I love that. With the link in my Bible. Okay, exactly. That's what it is. I should start calling my bio my Bible. Jesus Christ. And I could load that thing. I just don't want to overwhelm people. You know, if I really. All right. So I'm wrapping up now. I know there's hardly nobody here, but does anybody have any questions about anything I've discussed here today? It's about time for me to log off. All right, I'm going to log off YouTube now. I'm going to go out for a walk, some fresh air. It's clear skies here in Sacramento, California. Very clear skies. Absolutely beautiful. When I tell you clear, it's absolutely clear. Not a speck of cloud or any white stuff in the air. It's crisp. The sun is out. It's cold, but the sun is out. Complete your question, Krill. Complete your question.